So guys, welcome back again. Now let's talk about workbook and worksheet. Right? We are now going to talk of what we call a workbook and worksheet. Let's start this. So now we are going to talk of differences between a workbook and a worksheet in Excel. Right? That is cool. So now let's talk about the worksheet first. When you talk of a worksheet, these are the worksheets. If you look down here, we have sheet 3, we have spreadsheets, intro, right? I renamed this, that is the reason. But let's say, let's use a new workbook here. Okay, now you see, when you talk of a worksheet, these are worksheet. We have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, right? Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And if you want to add this sheet, you can just click on this one here. You see, it's been added. Now we have sheet 4. If you click again, we have what? Sheet 5. If you click again, we will have what? Sheet 6. So these are what we call worksheet, right? And each of these worksheets, you can either rename the worksheet to your specification. Now let's say sheet 1 here, let's call this one to be test. You see that? It's being called out test. Now let's rename this work sheet 3 now to be wow. That is it. You see? Now if you look at this, it's no longer sheet 1 but a test. And this is test sheet. If you look at this, it's no longer sheet 3 but what? Wow. And this is the wow sheet. Okay? And each of these sheets, you can customize it by giving them what? Colors to your what? Preferred. If you right click, let's right click on it. Now we come to where is it? Tab color. You come to what? Tab color here. When you come to tab color, you can select any color of your choice. Now let's say we choose green. And let's see that. Now we have color what? The text sheets to be what? In a gray color. And let's say we want to give this wow a red color. You right click there, you right click, come to tab color and pick what's red. If you click again, you see that this is how we colored what sheet. You can also hide sheets on hide sheet. Maybe you have a particular sheet that you don't want the third user or the end user to see or to get interrupted with it. You can either hide it from them by right clicking. Let's say you want to hide this wow sheet. You right click, come to hide. You see that? Now, where is the wow sheet? Oh my gosh, we don't have the wow sheet. It's been hidden. But if you want to see back the sheet of the wow, it's very simple, very cool, right? You can just right click and come to what? Unhide. That's the wow. This is the wow sheet that we hide. So we want to unhide it. Click. Cool. We have our wow sheet back again. You see that? Very, very cool. Although we have another way that we can hide sheet which what the end user or the third user might not able to what? Unhide it. No matter what you right click, even if you right click, you will not be able to what? Unhide it, right? For this one, it's very cool. If you hide, somebody might just right click and unhide what? The sheet that you have hidden. Very cool. I have another way that to hide sheet, even if you right click, you cannot able to what? Unhide it. But that's gonna be in what? In our advanced lesson. If you are with us till advanced, then you will learn that one. It's very, very simple, but very what? Difficult again to do it. And it's the best way to hide a sheet rather than right clicking and coming to hide. Anybody that's understand what Excel might just hide this one and come, then there you go again. But to hide a sheet that's except somebody that's what? No programming language might be able to hide that sheet. We shall learn that in our advanced class if you are with us to what? Advanced stage. Okay, so these are what we call sheets. You can either add sheet by just clicking on this, or you can either right click again and delete if you don't want the sheet again. See that? You can either right click and delete. You can either right click and rename to your preferable whatsoever. Let's see, then you see that you can right click also, give it a tab color to your choice. See, that's it. That's how. So these are what we call worksheet. And number of worksheets make up what we call a workbook. Now we are coming to what? The difference. A number of worksheets shows what? A workbook. So these are sheets. We have test sheet, sheet 2, wow sheet, sheet 4, them here. So these are worksheets. And this worksheet makes up what? A workbook. Now, if we are to say we are to save this workbook, let's save this. And of course, if you want to save your work, this is how you save what your Excel come to save as. When you come to save as, now you click on what? The preferable location you might want to save your work. For here, maybe I want to save this work on what? The desktop. So you either click on desktop or wheresoever you want to place your work. Now you give it a name. Let's say lesson 2, right? We have a lot of options to what? Save your Excel work, right? But for beginners level, let's just leave it to be what? Normal Excel workbook, right? In our advanced lesson, we shall talk of what? All of this and how to save your workbook. So let's just leave it to be what? Normal Excel workbook. Now we save. Now if you close this, now we come to this stage, you can see lesson workbook. So this is what we call workbook here. This one is what we call workbook. This is what we call workbook. I guess and hope you got this one. Let me see. We call it workbook. And if you open this workbook here, you can see that what we have worksheet. These are worksheet. I guess now you know the difference between a workbook and a worksheet. So if you are talking about the difference between workbook and worksheet, these are worksheets. And when you save the file, it is what we call a workbook. So if you look at this now, this is what? Lesson 2 workbook. And in this lesson 2 workbook, we have test sheet, sheet 2, wow sheet, sheet 4, and then sheet. I guess this is very, very understandable. Okay. So for now, I know my beginners students or my beginners members here now know what's the difference between a worksheet and a workbook. These are what refers to a worksheet, and when you save your file, is what refers to a workbook. This is lesson 2 workbook, and in this lesson 2 workbook, we have what? The sheets, right? And of course, I know now you can rename sheet for yourself. You can give it a tab color. You can delete. You can rename. You can either add sheets.
Thanks for watching lesson to watch next for lesson 3.
Wow,
Hope we are learning.
yes, we are learning.
Thanks for being part of the class.